right? How could you not be seen as a leader? The whole idea is that we want to be seen as important. We want to actually be important. Dramatically changing your life in 10 days. And why 10 days? Why not 7? Well, there's a reason for it. Because if you're not, and all of a sudden you find yourself kind of depressed and in a slum, and you're on Xbox or you're on Netflix, well, wait a minute. That's not working on your goals. It's not working towards your dream life. These are really simple things that you guys can implement. And I want you guys to stick with this video because there's a lot more depth to it than just develop a morning routine, evening routine, read. Why was I depressed for so many years? It's because my heart was closed off. This is one of the quotes that I sent to my siblings this morning. It is, the truth is, every movement of your body, every emotion you have, and every thought that passes through your mind is an expenditure of energy. Just as everything that happens outside in the physical world requires energy, everything that happens inside requires an expenditure of energy. We're seeing a lot on YouTube how much you can have an entirely different life in 6 months. Or where do you see yourself in 12 months? You won't even be recognizable in 12 to 18 months. So much truth to that. Why are these people going through these massive transformations? Well, there are things that you can do that will dramatically change your life, right? Now, Sunday mornings, this is when I'm shooting my videos. I have not worked out. I'm sipping on a pre-workout. It's just a little routine that I'm getting into. It's kind of nice because it's an enjoyable routine. And not only that, it's kind of eventually becoming a habit, right? I look forward to it. One thing I will say is I will not, it's a firm rule. I will not preach and tell my followers or the clients that I'm coaching or my clients that I have projects with. I will never tell them to do something that I haven't done. It's kind of like a philosophy, it's a value, it's a character of mine. I just don't know how you can do that because you're not really gonna know how to then help your clients after, right? So I might tell you what to do. This is what you should do. But then I'm kind of useless. Like, I don't know the emotions that you're gonna be going through. I don't know the challenges that might come up, right? I'm kind of like a one-time coach. And that's not the purpose of this channel, right? It's really I know where I'm at in my journey. I know the stuff that I'm going through, and I just recently watched a podcast with, I think it was Dan Martell and Ed Milet. I can't remember which one said it, but it's so true. I think it was Ed Milet that said it. You are most qualified to help your old self, right? So those are the people that you need to go for. You are most qualified to help who you used to be. And I love that. I resonated with it. And it kind of is like, you know what? I'm going to just start shooting YouTube content and everything that I'm digesting on a daily basis, because I have my routine and I have my habits. It's top of mind. Why not share it with the world, right? 2025, for me, it's really challenging my character to grow, to be more of a leader. I've always seen myself as a leader. I've really lacked the internal encouraging words of like that inner voice of saying, you know what, you can do it, you should do it, you deserve to do it. And it's really, at the end of the day, it comes to a confidence thing, right? So with that said, I have struggled for probably 15 years after a car accident. I really struggled with depression, and that depression put me in just being a completely different person, right? Different personality, different character, got me into a heck of a lot of trouble. And I've been fighting to pull myself out of it. And essentially what pulled me out of it was this really deeply rooted desire to just be a better person and keep me above the surface, right? I always felt like I was drowning. I always felt like I was in an ocean and just getting hit by these road waves. And it's like once you feel like you've been pulled out of it and now you're in a boat with no holes in it, how do you stay afloat? And it comes down to daily rituals, daily habits, daily routines and your beliefs. And a lot of it comes down to, and we'll get into this a little bit further, a lot of it comes down to your energy. And I encourage all you guys to read, buy the audiobook, buy the hardcover book, soft cover. I don't know if they have a hardcover. The Untethered Soul. Read that book over and over and over. We all should have a couple books that our goal is to almost memorize. You guys will notice a lot of these YouTubers and influencers, they're so knowledgeable. It's just, you watch a video and you're like, I will never be able to speak like that ever. And it can be discouraging because it's like a lot of us want to be entrepreneurs and leaders and influencers and talk and do all these things where we feel like it's so far away. And at the end of the day, a lot of this stuff is top of mind, and it's really memorized through just repetition. And the craziest thing is some of these books that I started reading, I'm like, oh my God, this person, this influencer literally says a lot of this stuff word for word. They've embodied it, right? They've made that book a part of them, a part of their personality. And that's kind of a goal. So how the hell do we get there? That's kind of what I want to get into, right? Yeah, so this is what we're going to be doing. So every morning when we wake up, we're going to get in the habit of having our phone on Do Not Disturb. We're going to get up super early. We're going to get up like a good 3 to 4 hours before our work starts. And we're going to fall in love with our morning routine to the point where we want to get out of bed. A lot of people say, how do we get out of bed? Let me just quickly check something here, guys, really quickly. Okay, I'm recording. You know, I shot a 45-minute video a couple days ago, and I thought I hit record and I didn't. Something happened. So I'm now just kind of always want to double check. I can't see the camera, right? Because I got it flipped around. I can't see the screen. So getting back to it, ultimately we want to fall in love with our morning routine. So many of us are struggling to get up in the morning. We have nothing to look forward to. We try a routine. We try a New Year's resolution, and it's just badass energy. Not badass energy, bad energy, negative energy. We're going to be, especially if we are not morning people. I am not a morning person at all. I hate the mornings. I always have. Totally different now. Now it's like nobody's going to get in the way of my morning routine. I don't care if I'm on a trip, who I'm with. Like, my morning routine is everything because that sets me up for the rest of my day. And when my alarm goes off and I'm like, I feel like I didn't get the sleep I needed, that feeling is so far less than the feeling of, but I got to do my morning routine. It's really weird. It almost sounds kind of cheesy, but this is what I'm going to kind of encourage you guys to do. And just do it for 1 week. So you're waking up, you have a really quick, wash your face, cold water, drink a liter of water, whatever you guys are going to do. I always hydrate myself with electrolytes. I go to the bathroom. I take vitamin D, a couple supplements, and then I usually make 2 coffees back to back. And what I do is I'm sitting down there and I'm reading 10 pages. And Dan Martello encourages this. And I think it's so beautiful because a lot of people don't want to read, or they're like, okay, I'm going to read every day, and they don't retain any of it. They're not really like, I'm not really a reader. Reading every day, it's going to be part of your personality. Like, you don't want to say, yeah, I've read a couple books. Like, you embody this, guys. Actually tell yourself, I'm a reader. And with confidence, you can tell people, I'm a reader. Like, I'm a big reader. I read every single day. I read every single morning. And this is what we're going to do. All we're doing, we're reading 10 pages. It's super, super simple. And it's like, well, we're not really going to get much information just reading 10 pages. Yeah, you fucking will. Like, because we're going to do a couple things here. We're going to kind of like compound it, right? We're going to layer it. So what I started doing, I started reading 10 pages. And what you want to do, your objective is to, with a highlighter, so make it really enjoyable, right? Like, give me a second here. I'm going to show you guys exactly, I'm going to show you guys this. This is what I have every morning. I sit down on my couch after I've made a cup of coffee. I don't know if you guys can see this. I got a little tray here, so I could put my coffee on it and it won't tip over on my couch because I don't like leaning over to my coffee table, right, to sip. I like my coffee right beside me. So I got the book that I'm currently reading. I have my my notebook. I'll show you guys how to set that up as well. I have a pen, I have a highlighter. This thing doesn't change. Okay, so, and what you're doing is you're skimming through your reading. You're actually paying attention because you're only reading 10 pages. And what you're doing is, and the reason why you're paying so much more attention is because your goal is to look for a couple quotes and you're going to highlight them in your book. Yeah, you're going to actually write in your book. And not only are you going to do that, you're going to then write down your quote in your journal because this is a routine. This is like a morning ritual, right? So what we're doing is, sorry guys, my throat's a little bit, apologize with all the clearing on my throat. So your AM morning routine, it's going to look like this, right? 10 pages, chapter 5, The Untethered Soul. I wrote down something that really stuck out to me. And it's so cool because once you guys write it down, you're able to retain it a heck of a lot more. And you're going to take it one step further because this is part of what you're going to be doing throughout the day to be a better you. You're now going to send this in a good morning text to a couple of people. So for me, I default to my sisters and my brother. And my cousin had a difficult time, so I've added him to the list, right? So what I'm doing every single morning is, this morning, I read my 10 pages, I highlighted about 3 or 4 things that really stood out to me. I'm learning this. You guys need to do this. You don't have a choice because you guys want to be your better selves, right? You need information. You guys need content. You can't visualize yourself as being a leader and have nothing to talk about, right? You can't just be dry. Like you got to have some depth to you. And the only way to get depth to you is to do this. And it's literally 20 to 30 minutes. You're reading 10 pages. You're highlighting a couple things that really resonate. You're writing it down. And the really cool thing is that you can flip through this. You have your morning notes, you have your evening notes, you have the day. And it's like, oh man, I had this quote. Where was it? Here it is right here. You write it down. You can memorize it. And then not only that, you're sharing it with a couple of people. You're getting them to start their mornings better. So you're already starting with, like, you're feeding your brain, you're feeding your mind, you're feeding your soul. You're already putting positive energy out there. You're helping others. Such a great start to the morning, right? So morning routine and importance of reading 10 pages and sharing the quotes with family or friends. Boom, checked. Right now, The Untethered Soul, I reread all the time. Chapter 5 is so great. Chapter 5, and we're also going to talk about this too, is controlling your energy. And that's why in 10 days, you guys are going to be able to completely transform. Really, the reason why it's 10 days is because 1 week, Dan Martell says this a lot too. Like, I'm not impressed if you do something for 1 day or a week or a month or even a year. It's that you can't do it as a challenge. Like, oh, I'm going to do this for a month. It really has to become part of you. It's when people say this is the type of person so-and-so is, that's the type of person they are, right? You've embodied the routine. It's now part of your character and your personality. It's the energy that you put off is, you guys need to take it to that level, right? There's so much more depth to it, and layers to it. All right, so now rewinding a little bit, what your evening routine is going to be is, and you are going to do this, you have to do it this way, because a lot of people say have a journal, And oh man, I've heard this a million times over the years, and I've attempted it 500 times. And I just never, I burnt out pretty much after a couple of days. It was like, write down 10 things that you're grateful for before you go to bed. And it only lasted 2 or 3 days because it was the same 10 things. It was like my family, my health, my home, my pets, my food. That's pointless, right? It has to be write down 10 things that you are grateful for today. That is the trick. So then you're able to actually reflect on the day, and every single night when you're actually writing things down, it is new. It's very rarely going to be repetitive. It could be, I'm very grateful for the 2 consultations that I had today. I'm very grateful for the lead that so-and-so sent me today. I'm very grateful for the conversation that I had with my sister this morning, right? I'm very grateful for the person that I walked past that stopped me to pet my dog and ask me about my day. Literally, it really challenges us to actually reflect on our day. And what you guys will notice is after about 3 or 4 days, you're going to be like, I have a lot more information up there. I thought I was kind of stupid, which was really discouraging because I have all these ambitions of being like this leader and this entrepreneur. Well, yeah, of course you're going to feel that way. You're not working on yourself, actively working on yourself. This way you guys know you're actively working on yourself. You know you're going to get better because every single morning you're waking up at 5 or 4 or 6 or whatever it is, right? You're spending a solid hour of zero stress, because that's why I say wake up a good 3 or 4 hours before your work starts, because that first hour or two, there's no pressure, there's no checking the time, nothing. You keep your phone on silent, you have your little morning routine, you make your cup of coffee or whatever you're doing, you sit down and you're really embracing the fact that you're waking up your brain, you're starting to read, you're sharing 1 or 2 quotes, right, with whoever you're sharing it with. You could post it on later that morning. You can post it on Facebook or Instagram daily. And what we're doing is, one of the big things is that it's like, you guys want to change the world, you kind of need to make yourself important. Not in a selfish way, not in like an egotistical way, but you need to be bigger, right? A lot of the people that I used to be intimidated by or even jealous, it's like, why do I feel this way when they pop up? Well, they're doing a lot of things. They're important. You guys want to change your status? This is another thing that we're going to add to this. Start hosting things, small events. That is going to define your character and change your character the most. If you guys can do a weekly something where it's an open invitation, because you know Monday through Sunday, you know you're having breakfast, lunch, and dinner, most of us, right? You know you might be going to the gym X amount of times. There's things that you know you're doing. So you can afford to take one of those events that you're doing by yourself and put out an invitation for people to join, right? So one thing that Dan Martell does is every Tuesday morning at 6:30 in the morning, I don't know where it is. I know he's based out of Kelowna, but he has an open invitation to do this hike. I think it's like an hour hike. And what a great way to network. What a great way to collaborate with like-minded individuals, right? That want to better themselves. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to challenge myself. I need to meet people. I need to socialize more. And not only that, a lot of it comes down to perception. And that's what a lot of us really struggle with. It's like, well, I can't do this now because I'm not that right now, right? Like, it's the hardest. That's why people struggle to start. Nobody wants to start when they're like, but I'm not there yet, right? Everybody's waiting to be a millionaire before they start coaching. Everybody's waiting to be a millionaire Everybody's waiting to be, you know, in the best shape of their life before they start shooting videos. I am not showered right now. It's early in the morning on Sunday. I haven't shaved for a couple of days. I'm like, looked at myself in the mirror and I'm like, oh, I'm not recording content today. Yeah, I fucking am. Recording content, you guys don't care. I know that, right? It's a self-limiting belief where you're thinking about you, right? Just recently, I watched Dan Martell said he hosted an event, or I think it was invited to oh man, it was some massive event, and somebody asked him if, like, were you nervous? And he's like, no. And they're like, how were you not nervous? It was like a TED Talk or a Tony Robbins event or something like that I was invited to. And he's like, the second I make it about me, I become nervous. And it's not about me, it's about you. And that blew me away, because all these years I've been nervous with everything. Public speaking, doing YouTube videos, pretty much walking into a store to grocery shop, my anxiety would go up. And just that it took way too many years for me to hear some random person I was following on the internet say something that resonated like a punch to the gut. And I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, of course. It's because I'm thinking about myself. I'm not like there to help others, to serve, right? So don't skip past this part. This part is very important, right? For you guys to really like hit rewind and re-listen to what I just said. The second you make it about you, you're going to be nervous. The second you make it about you, you're going to choke. You're going to choke up. You're going to forget your words. You're going to this, you're that. So the intention is always to, and I think I have it somewhere on my YouTube page here. The intent is to always serve first, right? Always give back. I am here to help others. I am here to, and I'll help you guys with your anxiety, your social anxiety, your nervousness, your self-limiting beliefs that are just totally killing you. Put that all aside, and just know, like, people want to hear what you have to say. And that shouldn't make you, that really should encourage you, because right now, if you were to be thrown on stage, you would probably shit your pants and be like, oh my God, I'd keel over with having a panic attack. Well, you probably would, because you're not even close, not even remotely close to your best self. You have no routine, you have no discipline, you have really no self-esteem, because, well, what are you doing? You're not feeding your mind every day. So if you guys really absorb a routine like this, in a couple of months, I guarantee you, even in 10 days, you're going to be like, oh man, I could totally be on stage in a month or 6 months or a year, killing it. Why? Because after a couple of days of this, you're already going to be absorbing new information. Your character and personality is already changing right in front of you. And you're going to be able to feel that and resonate with that. Like, this is the new me. This is not changing. This routine I will have for the rest of my life. It's you're taking like a piece of a puzzle, and currently your personality, picture your personality being 3 different puzzles or 4 different puzzles all mixed together, right? And what you're doing is all the pieces of the puzzle that you've been really missing and kind of desperate for, you're pulling those pieces in, right? So now we're going to jump into energy, because that's one thing that I really, 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 really wanted to kind of finish with. And I think I already brought it up. Chapter 5 in The Untethered Soul really talks about energy. Where does energy come from? This is one of the quotes that I sent to my siblings this morning. It is, the truth is, every movement of your body, every emotion you have, and every thought that passes through your mind is an expenditure of energy. Just as everything that happens outside in the physical world requires energy, everything that happens inside requires an expenditure of energy. Why was I depressed for so many years? It's because my heart was closed off. And if you guys don't know, all of our energy comes from our heart. When people's heart stop for a couple minutes, right, they get brain damage. When obviously people's heart stops permanently, they're dead. All of our energy comes from our heart. And when you close off your heart, what's happening is those are the people that are walled, right? They're only filtering the bad stuff, right? Because they're deciding, I'm not going to be open. And what you're doing is, we all live for, everybody lives for this, and I can argue it till my heart's content. We all live for these three things. We want to be enthusiastic, right? Joy and love. Enthusiasm, joy and love. Enthusiasm, joy and love. And we cannot feel that or accept that with a closed heart. So where does all of our energy come from? It comes from within, it comes from our heart. It's an unlimited amount of energy, just so you guys know, if we allow it to be. So when we have these self-limiting beliefs and we're really hard on ourselves, the second a thought enters our mind, and it's a negative thought, not only is that taking energy, but now the emotion that comes with that negative thought is taken even more. And then it goes into a loop, right? It will ruin your whole day. So a lot of people that are depressed and that are struggling, they're tired all the time, right? So what's going on here? If you guys feel like, if you guys are not getting energy after a good meal, well, there's something going on there. You should be energized after a workout. You guys should be energized after a meal. A really good analogy actually in this book, I think actually it falls in a chapter 6, but it's a whole analogy of, a guy gets dumped and he falls into depression, right? And can't get out of it. He's tired all the time. He can't, he's eating, he's struggling to do his chores, he's sleeping in, his friends call him, hey, let's go out tonight. Oh, I can't, I'm too tired. It's because you are, right? And he is, as the example in the book, he's so tired. There's no energy expenditure left for anything good. Hey, we got you free tickets to X, Y, and Z. Come out and have a good time. No, I'm good. Because you're thinking you're too tired, or he is. And then fast forward 2 or 3 months, right? Nothing's changed. There's no energy to pull himself out of the depression that he's in. He gets a text from his ex-girlfriend. And it's so true, because a lot of us have been through this, right? Whether it's an ex, boyfriend, girlfriend, what have you. Somebody we had an argument with at work, and it's the text is, I'm so sorry, I miss you, and all X, Y, and Z, I want to see you. So what does he do? Immediately, out of fucking nowhere, he's got all the energy in the world. He's jumping out of bed, he's cleaning his room, he's showering, he's shaving, he's going to the gym. Where did that energy come from? Right? He didn't have an energy drink or a coffee or anything like that. That came from within. And all he did was he went like this. He opened up his heart, right? To accepting enthusiasm, joy, and love. That's all we crave on a daily basis. So we're in charge of that, right? So be very, very, very mindful while you guys are going through this process. We're formulating our habits. We're reading 10 pages. We're messaging people. That's such a big one. Where is it here? Give me 1 second. So personal economy, I learned this from Dan Martell. This is our daily, so I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it or not. This is what I review every day. So it's basically, it's your personal economy, right? I hope you guys, yeah. Review your goals 3 times a day. Workout 45 minutes per day. 10 pages every day. Feed your mind. 3 posts per day. 5 outbound calls. Text to people you can help or collaborate with. We're opening ourselves out, right? We're providing information, we're serving. We're building our character. We are becoming the leader that we always knew we had the potential to be. And we are depressed because we are not doing what we need to be doing to actually get there. And this is how you get there. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys, right? It's building blocks. There's going to be more content where I'm going to be going into further detail. If you guys want me to elaborate on anything, please let me know. I'm trying to be mindful of the time because one thing I can't figure out is how to upload these videos quicker. I feel like they take 4 hours to upload. So we'll leave it with that. I do have some additional things here too, like review your goals 3 times a day. You guys should be doing this in your morning journal. You guys should have them written out. Part of that quiet time in the morning, reflecting, feeding your mind. You should have, there's basically 5 categories that your goals will fall into. So you guys could write this down. It's going to be personal development goals. It's going to be professional goals. It's going to be financial goals, relationship goals, and then legacy goals. What is your vision? So working backwards, my vision is, well, what is it? It's pursue your dream life. Well, what is your dream life? You have that written down and visualized, right? I have a vision board here. I have my 5 Gs, personal, professional, community, contribution, revenue. I have a photo of a brand new speedboat for taking the family out on. I have a photo of a new truck. I have a photo of a beautiful home because I want to build a custom home one day. I have a quote, we make a living what we get, but we make a life by what we give, right? The intention of serving, all that positive energy that's going to come back to us. I have a photo here of a beautiful beach. I have no clue where it is, but I have this dream to be able to take my entire family, immediate family on a vacation once a year, right? Fund it all. You need these constant reminders. You guys will lose motivation if you don't have anything around you motivating you, right? So, and then getting into the details. So legacy goals, pursue your dream life, relationship goals. On a daily basis, you guys should be reflecting your goals 3 times a day and say, am I working towards these? Because if you're not, and all of a sudden you find yourself kind of depressed and in a slum, and you're on Xbox or you're on Netflix, well, wait a minute. That's not working on your goals. That's not working towards your dream life. So strengthen personal relationships, expand your network. So that dives kind of deeper into our 10-day routine. And that's 5 outbound calls or texts or emails to people that you can either help or collaborate with. If you guys are doing that on a daily basis, you know you're working towards your relationship goals, right? You're strengthening personal relationships and you're expanding your network. How could you not grow, right? How could you not be seen as a leader? The whole idea is that we want to be seen as important. We want to actually be important. We have nothing to provide or give. Well, we can't just get there tomorrow. Like, we need to work towards it. And this is the fastest way to work towards it. And we have our financial goals, right? So what are your financial goals? Financial freedom, give back, invest. Making your, a big one for me, I deleted the DoorDash app because I was spending like $1,000 to $2,000 a month. Almost gives me a heart attack thinking about it, because I told myself I'm too busy to shop for food and I'm too busy to cook, right? So my energy was going to the wrong place. That whole like open your heart thing was not happening. I was closing my heart. I was stressed. I was draining all my energy thinking about all this negative stuff, when all of my energy could have gone elsewhere, right? Could have gone towards this type of stuff right here. Personal development goals, master a skill, read, work out. So master a skill, my skill, being a leader. I want to master that. And I need to embody that. So it's like, take a leader that you follow on wherever. What are they doing on a daily basis? Start doing those things, right? And personal development, I just said that. Master a skill, read, work out. So read, we already know what we're doing. We're doing 10 pages a day. You can read a little bit more than that if you want. I often do. But you should be able to pull a really good quote on whatever book in 10 pages. Something should pop out. We're working out on a daily basis. I know a lot of people say, you know, you shouldn't do that. It doesn't have to be a hard workout. The idea is just to get our heartbeat up, right? Just to sweat a little bit. That's it. That's your personal economy. It's a really, really cool concept, and that is what you guys are going to be using here. Yeah, so anyways, I'm going to leave it at that, guys. Hopefully you guys like the content. I'm going to keep this coming. Let me know in the comments if you guys can, if there was any content or anything that I said that really stood out to you that maybe you appreciate or has helped you. I'd love to hear it, and we'll see you guys on the next video.